Welcome to the Preeminence Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters, founder of Ascend. Be sure to grab your ultimate guide to preeminence at preeminence.tv. Today we're talking about your $100,000 offer. So tune in, listen up, and get ready to take a focused action on your message, mission, and presence to create accelerated results starting right now. Can you believe that you could have a $100,000 offer? I'm serious, that's a question. Can you believe that you could actually do that? Because if you cannot believe it, you will never, ever sell it. Can you believe you have a $50,000 or $25,000 offer? Can you believe that? If you can, then cool. That's a first step. What are the products and services you're offering right now? Do you have a defined product ladder? Now, if you haven't heard the podcast on the product ladder, go back and find that one. That's like having a book, then going to a do-it-yourself training, and then to like a group or online training, group mentoring, multi-day events, platinum group, or done-for-you services. You need to figure out what is the highest amount I feel like there's a feeling inside you that I'm worth. Let's do a test. I'm going to name off some numbers, and I want you to feel internally where you feel like the line is drawn. You cannot stretch any further. All right. And I want you to be real with yourself. Do not fake yourself out. Do not lie to yourself. Don't say like, I could have $1 billion offer just because you think that'd be cool to think about or say. I want you to get real with yourself and determine if there's any room for you to grow in this area. So let's start with $1,000. Do you feel you could sell something for $1,000? Many of you may sell things multiple $1,000. All right. How about $10,000? What does a $10,000 offer feel like in your body? Do you feel like, yeah, no problem at all? Feel it. Now, what if I were to say your maximum sellable item, be it an experience, a product, or a service, a do-it-yourself, or done for you, a done with you? Sometimes people think of done for you, like I'm going to be working for you full time sort of thing. I don't want you to be thinking about that. You're going to leverage your services, your brilliance, and your abilities, your team, whatsoever you have. $25,000. Could you sell something for $25,000? How about $50,000? Do you feel like you have worth and value of $50,000? Could you sell one of those? Now, granted, we're going by feeling here. How is this feeling for you? What if I said $65,000? Do you think that you have something, some ability to sell something for $65,000? And what about $100,000? Is there something you could do once, over 6 months, over a year, that'd be worth $100,000 to you, to other people? What about $250,000? Could you have a $250,000 product or service? Now, sometimes I talk with people who are real estate agents, and they're like, oh, yeah, definitely, I could sell something $250,000. I've sold something over $1 million. Yeah, but that's not your product, okay? You might be getting a commission off selling somebody else's product. I'm talking about you selling something for $100,000, and you have a healthy profit margin on your product that you can sell time and time and time again. Not a one-off here or one-off there, but something that you see that you could create a value in. What about $1 million? Do you have something that you could sell worth $1 million? Now, I reference my friend TJ frequently, and because I just see he's just such a powerful, hard worker, and I've just seen his business explode because of his work ethic, the amount of work he does. And just the other thing, too, is he's a brilliant guy. He has a business mind. And one time I put out $100,000, and he messaged back on that post on Facebook. And I said, what about $1 million offer? And he thought about it for a moment. He says, I don't have anything for $1 million. I got to think of that. And he came back about 20, 30 minutes later. He says, you know what? I've got these gyms. I could sell one of my gyms. A gym is worth $1.2 million or something along those lines. He says, yes, I own a product that I can sell for over $1 million. That's something he created, he owns, and he'd be selling for over $1 million. Now, if you look at someone like Tony Robbins, from what I understand, he has people who he mentors at $1 million a year and other people that pay him as well as he gets a percentage of the growth of their company. I also have another friend, I'm not going to say his name, he has I also have another friend who coaches and mentors executives, and he charges $250,000 a year. And he charges $250,000 a year to those executives because why? He's not teaching them how to make more money. He's teaching executives at the C level and above how to have balance in their life, how to reconnect with their kids and their loved ones, their spouse or their significant other, how to reconnect with God, with their spiritual side. Because you know what? They figured out the money part. They realize I can keep making money, but what I don't want to lose is my spirituality, my kids, my significant other. Those things are worth far beyond $250,000. Does that make sense? Now let's talk about your offer, wherever it is. There's no judgment. It's just data. What do you see yourself at? And if you say, you know what? I've done this a few times actually in live webinars, and usually the majority of people feel weird about offering anything over $10,000. That's cool. What is your $10,000 thing? If you can figure out a value to somebody that would equate to double, triple, 5 times, 10 times that, if you could create a system for $10,000, let's say you could create a funnel, an online funnel for someone for $10,000, and you know by them running traffic to it and through it, they're going to create millions of dollars. Yeah, 10 grand, just like that. One of my mentors, I called him one time. I was new to the business, and he was a new mentor of mine. And I said, you know, I'm going to be going to the mastermind. I wanted to just talk with you first. I wanted to do some videos for people, and I wanted to just make sure it was okay with you first. And he said, well, what were you thinking of doing? I said, well, I was thinking I could shoot several videos, and we're going to be in Hawaii. It's a beautiful place, and I thought people may want their videos done in Hawaii. It's kind of a cool place. We're at a resort. He said, well, how much do you think you would charge? I said, I would probably just do a couple of videos each, $1,000 each. He said, well, what if I just wanted to hire you and you don't talk with anybody else? You just do my videos. I said, yeah, I could do that. He said, well, what are you trying to make over the course of the mastermind training? And I said, well, I'd like to make 10 grand. You know, just go in there, shoot for a day, and then be done, 10 grand. He said, well, I'll pay you the 10 grand. You just shoot the party and you shoot some of our material. You don't have to be there all day. Just I want to catch some clips of different things we're working on. I said, yeah, let's do that. And he said, is that a deal? I said, it's a deal. And then he laughed and he said, I would have paid you twice that. Oh, man. He was teaching me to really think about my value. See, the value of a video to him was not the same as someone down the street who has, let's say, a pet food supply store and is looking for a commercial to run on YouTube for local traffic. You know, maybe that would be worth $800 to them, something along those lines. But for him in his line of work, 10 grand, he knew he would be making a multiple off of just one person seeing that video out of the hundreds or thousands of people who would see that video that would want to be a part of that group. He knew the value was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's why when I said $10,000, he thought that was a steal. He knew the value to himself. I didn't know the value to him, so I just said that, and he told me later he would have paid me twice that. What is your value? Let's say $25,000. $25,000 is kind of what people are charging right now for what they call mastermind groups, which is really a high-level mentorship group where you have one person who is a specialist and other people learning that specialist abilities, that skill set. And so $25,000, they're a part of a group. So I've been in $25,000 masterminds. I've been in $35,000 masterminds per year. And I'll tell you right now, I got the value out of it because I got a multiple out of it because I did the work. I'll tell you right now, the highest ticket that I've ever sold was $67,000 paid fully. So, you know I can sell at least that much. One person, one individual, one event, $67,000. Now, there are other things you can do that you can make $100,000 by doing an event. You can make $50,000 by doing an event. or running a promotion or something like that. So there's things you can do to make that in a shorter period of time. But right now, as a single product in your product ladder, you can serve people with a book for $10 or $20. But I want you also to go way to the other end of the spectrum. Can you sell something that's $100,000 and people can see the value of what you bring to their business, their organization, to their personal life, their spiritual life, or what have you, and they say, yes, it's worth that. If you think of a soft product like Balance for $250,000, this friend of mine saw that the C-level executives had a really screwed up life and they wanted balance, and he saw what the value was to them, and that's what he created. Your action step is to determine your highest value, and if it feels a little weird to you at first, if you thought that $10,000 was the most you could ever invest in somebody because that's the most you've ever invested in somebody, I dare you to double that. Say you could do something for $25,000, or if it's $25,000 to $50,000, $50,000 to $100,000, wherever you're at, stretch to that double, and then maybe, just maybe, you don't see the value to other people because you're talking to the wrong people. What I mean by wrong is the wrong fit. Not that they're bad people or anything like that, but who would highly, highly value what it is that you offer, that transformation. And if you're offering transformation for an individual and you're doing well with that, what would that mean to an organization if you trained a team of people to do that thing? What could that do to an organization? That is your action step. Figure out where you're at right now. See if you can double it. And if you can get to $100,000, I would love to hear what your product or service is. Put it down in the comments below. If you have a link in there or what have you, I may check it. I don't want any spam, but if you have a legitimate product or service that you are now offering at $50,000, $100,000, or even $25,000, I want to hear about it. This is important to me. On your road to preeminence, it's important to have a product ladder where you have people that you can help at free and $10, as well as the $25,000, $50,000, and $100,000 as well. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. This daily podcast is all about you becoming the preeminent voice in your marketplace. So take the consistent and necessary action each and every day on what you've learned over the last few minutes. When, not if, when you're ready to take your business, your organization, your name, your brand, and your commitment to the level of preeminence, head on over to preeminence.tv where you can download your own copy of the Ultimate Guide to Preeminence, enroll in the Elevation program, and join us on one of our next live events. If you're not subscribed, simply visit iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play right now and click subscribe. Until tomorrow, make today and each and every day count towards creating preeminence in your space and a legacy that matters.